Okie dokie.
We're fired up.
Are we fired up?
We are fired up.
Man.
Direct from New York City, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. It's
Yep.
Jeff Scheen.
Direct, and I'm all fired up, and you know who else is fired up, or just plain fired?
Woo, boy, so much to unpack in this week's edition after that 46-25 loss, and let's just dive into it, Jeff.
Yep, that was
Brayden
actually.
Coombs.
Yep. Also, I want to say this: it was a SCORE-IGAMI. That score has never been seen before.
What score is never? Oh, 46-25?
Yeah, it's the first time that scores happened.
What a fun mathematical fact.
Isn't that a fun little thing we did?
That is. And so early in the episode to where I think it's really going to attract people to stay and see what else we have to say. What are the fun facts?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun facts this week.
a SCORE-IGAMI. I got to write that down because that's what we're going to call this one.
That's a little SCORE-IGAMI, a little score people haven't seen before. And then there was a new firing that people haven't seen.
You
lately.
know what? Let's just dive right at Brayden Coombs, special teams coordinator, fancy boy. He looks like Brayden Coombs to me. That picture that they always show with him in the sunglasses and his hair all like coiffed over. It feels like the only type of pants he owns are skinny jeans or skinny joggers or. Also, I think he asked alleged rapist and former head coach Matt Patricia what his methods were on spring break. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from Brayden Coombs.
Yeah, he definitely does the skinny joggers look. I'm sure he does that. That I'll buy. I
would have bought his special teams philosophy because that team, we'll come back to this a little later, but Jack Fox named starting punter for the NFC Pro Bowl this year.
That's great. We probably have 2 Pro Bowl players this year.
We have 3.
Who's the third? I know it's TJ.
TJ's starting. Jack Fox is starting at the punter position. Okay. And then the backup center is Frank Ragnow.
Oh.
Also starting safety for the NFC, jettisoned safety and loved player by Detroit fans and teammates. Quandre Diggs is starting the Pro Bowl this year.
Oh, good. So good thing we got rid of him, you know? He's
for a 5th round pick.
Yeah, for a 5th round that we turned into
a running back that we cut.
Yeah. Good.
Woo! That's that Quintricia.
Hell yeah, the Quintricia.
Back to old Coombs.
Was the call a right call? I think so. The fake punt I liked. When I saw it, I was like, there we go. Some cojones.
And you know what? If you'd be able to see cojones on any man, it's Brayden Coombs in those skinny jeans.
Brayden Coombs. You know, he said, screw this. You know, I see what's going on here. I'm not listening to Daryl. I'm a Brayden.
Bev.
Yeah, everyone knows Braydens and Daryls don't get along. Braydens are East Coast snobs and Daryls are hillbillies, and they always clash.
Daryl's always had to work very hard for what they got. Case in point, Daryl Bevell, offensive coordinator in the league for at least a decade, maybe more, worked his way up, and he gets this head coach audition. And then you got Brayden, who cries if you don't trade your pudding for his orange.
That's right. Yeah, you got these soft Braydens coming at a hard old Daryl. And, of course, they're going to clash. And he made a call. Daryl didn't want it, I guess. He was quite surprised.
Daryl says he deliberately called punt. He said if he wanted to go for it, he'd left the offense out on the field. And the reason he called a punt in that is because the 2 plays prior, Stafford had been lit up. He's trying to protect his quarterback.
Trying to protect your guy. Sure, you want to give him a little breather, a little break. And then Brayden's like, no way, you sneaky old turd.
We're like a rebellious son against his father.
Yeah, he's like, we're faking this punt. And then the whole special teams is like, yeah, we're with you, Brayden, our leader. And honestly, it did look like they got it. I don't know if they did or didn't.
I don't know if they did or didn't either because they didn't challenge, but I think that lack of challenge was deliberate by old Bev. Like, this son of a bitch thinks he is going to call a fake punt. When I told him to kick the ball away and flip the field, he's going to run a fake punt on me? Oh, you think I'm going to defend you? You're out of your GD holler cotton ninny mind. That's what Bev thought. It was that whole transaction.
Yeah, that's right. And he didn't challenge at all. Which I
knew he was going to fire him.
Yeah. Which makes sense at the time I was watching it. I was like, I think that's good. I think he's crossed the plane. And then it came back from commercial. And it was like, there's just nothing. Like, nothing happened. I was like, well, are they just moving on? It looked like he was there. No challenge, nothing. And then the game just fell apart. Mm-hmm. And then the whole time Daryl was just probably stewing, being like, I can't wait to fire Brayden. And everyone's else like, Coach Bev, what do we do? And he's like, I don't know. I've completely taken my mind off of the game. And now I'm just staring at Brayden the whole time, glaring. And everyone's like, Coach Bev, they're running the score up. They have 40 points. And he's like, I don't even care.
You call the plays.
Yeah, you call it. Just stop them. I don't care. And he's just glaring at Brayden. And then everybody, all the fans at home.
Pretty boy.
Yeah, all the fans at home are like, what the heck's happening? And we got no clue.
So really it was a bad showing for Bev because it showed he couldn't focus on the game when his blood was boiling.
Mm-hmm, yeah, when his blood gets boiling, he just goes, oh. And then they're like, Coach, he's like, I don't know. And they're like, they're running the score on us. He's like, oh, whatever. I'm going to fire that son of a bee.
Oh, you take care of these play calls because my blood is boiling over here like some Cincinnati peanuts.
Man, what a garbage show. And then,
but that's publicly they came out and they said, Matthew Stafford was kind of like, yeah, maybe this should have happened. I got the vibe that Matthew Stafford was not a very big Brayden Coombs fan. From the interview I heard. Let me go ahead and search it up. Matthew Stafford on Brayden Coombs. What did he say?
I didn't know Stafford had an opinion of the guy.
I don't know that he didn't come out and say that he had an opinion, but he did say they asked him about it, and he said something along the lines of, whenever someone gets fired in this business, it's always kind of surprising. I'm going to the Bleacher Report where I found it earlier. But he goes, that was probably the right call. Or maybe I misread it. You tell me what you hear, okay?
Okay, what is it?
I pay for this internet to have a good connection.
I'm ready.
And it's just taking forever.
I'm ready for the Stafford quote. I'll read into it. I'll determine what he's saying.
What do you think he was saying before I find it? Let's not have any dead air on here.
Okay, I'm just trying.
After that SCORE-IGAMI,
try to put my
we can't be losing people.
My body in his shoes of the Stafford. I'm surprised Stafford even has I don't know. Special teams are just so out of his realm. He doesn't do anything with them. But yeah. Maybe he just didn't like Brayden. Braden's probably a young guy. Stafford's a young guy. Right. Two young guys clashing.
I found it.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford was asked about Lions firing Brayden Coombs on the Mitch Albom show. And here's what he said. This is a tweet from Michael Stetz. He said, I think anytime anybody in our business loses their job, it's surprising. I understand that. We all think we are going to come in and go to work, but obviously appreciate his hard work and all of that. But obviously trust the guys that are making those decisions and realize that they have things to go on behind the scenes that maybe some of the players don't see. And we got to make sure that those guys are held accountable. And then obviously our guys upstairs thought it would be the correct decision. And it's on us to just go out there and play and move forward.
Yeah.
At the very least, he's indifferent.
He's at least indifferent. I think he's saying, trust the head coach. They know what's going on. Who are you to take over? Listen to the higher ups and they know everything that's happening, and you just know this part of the ball. And I don't know. I don't honestly know what he was thinking. To go against your head coach and call a fake punt. What did he think was going to happen?
Do you think, and I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020, knowing now that he's gone, but do you think he would have been fired if the play would have been right?
Because
I don't know if he's a first or a second year special teams coordinator. I know he came from Cincinnati, but I don't know if he was the coordinator there last year. So he's in his first or second year coordinating. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a young, brazen move to deliberately go against who is your boss, whether you're right or wrong. I mean, and that's going to make it tough for him to get a job, I think.
It's going to make it real hard for him to get another job. I mean, sure, he could be like, I have a good record in special teams for what? 13 games, 14 games? How far we're into
14.
This? 14 games? And then to be like, look at that. And then I went against my head coach, made a fake punt call that he didn't want, and it didn't work, and we lost the game. Who's going to want you after that?
The only mindset would be he thinks he's going to get interviewed for some sort of head coaching position. He's like, well, see, I was trying to play the head coach role, but we weren't. I mean, we weren't very good. I mean, think about all the kicks Prater missed.
Yeah.
I mean, our punting was our best thing.
Right. Yeah, we had great punting, and our special teams coverage is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's a wild move, and then he got fired, and then they came out publicly and said this is why, because he went against it. So he screwed publicly. They've said it out there. This is why. Yep. This is what he did. So now everyone knows.
Which is another unusual
really screwed
move.
Himself.
That's another unusual move. They don't usually tell you why someone is specifically the one reason that someone is let go from a staff, and they flat out came and said, "No, this is what happened."
Yeah.
He's a jackass.
He really pissed him off. Yeah. He must have super. I mean, he slept with someone's wife. Who knows what he did?
Well,
but they are pissed at him. Now he's screwed.
Very upset because, I mean, and early on too, before they came out and said that was the reason that he was fired, the stuff that I was reading was saying that Brayden Coombs was not really most necessarily the most team-oriented fella. He was very, very concerned about self-promotion. So the vibe was, hey man, I'm here for a year, 2 tops. I don't care about this. I'm just trying to get my nut and move on. And I think he rubbed a lot of people.
A YouTube influencer? Get this guy out of there.
Yeah. You know what he's going to do now? He's going to try and start trolling coaches on staff's places and have boxing matches.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't on the sidelines always going, what's up? Yo, it's me, Brayden Coombs. We're going to kick a field goal. You're like, why are you so selfish? You're the special teams coordinator. You're not you're the 4th ranked of all the coaches, maybe.
Hey,
5th? I don't know how low you go on special
teams.
Out
there. Hey, all my Coomers. My Coomers.
Yeah.
Hey, out there, all my Coomers. Listen, I know the Paul brothers are doing this whole thing where they're going out and they're boxing, and that's not my style. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not happy that Coach Bev fired me. Daryl, you lost your damn mind, and I am challenging you to a punt, pass, and kick combination because 2 of those 3 are my specialty, man. Sure, you played quarterback in Wisconsin, but I coach punters and I coach kickers, and I'm gonna take you down a peg or 2. That's what I hope he does it.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, it's wild. I don't know. Maybe because he thought the Lions they're firing everybody. He's like, well, I'm not going to be here next year because I'm going to clean house.
Yeah.
Maybe you might as well just try to get some cool things on my resume. Maybe that was his thought, but it really backfired and blew up in his face.
Public defiance. Yeah, that was a dumb move. That was I don't know. I don't know what to say. Yeah,
it's just a dumb move. I think he was trying to build up his resume because he knew he was going to be gone at the end of the season.
Could you imagine what he would have done if Patricia was still the head coach, his mentality? Do you I think Bev took the right method and he fired him. He got rid of him because he said, if I didn't fire him, I was going to lose credibility on my message to the team. He was
Bevel, he had to.
For all intents and purposes, is trying to just rally his troops and maintain the team. But if Patricia were still the head coach and Brayden Coombs pulled that shit, I don't think he would have been fired, though I do think he would have been put over Patricia's knee and spanked publicly in meetings the next day.
I think if it was successful, I bet Patricia would have challenged it, probably won the challenge, and then being like, "Yeah, no, I told him to do that."
Yeah, he just takes credit for it.
Yeah, he would have taken. Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, that was my idea," and, it was like, and the whole team's like, "Wow, Patricia is a piece of garbage." He is, but
They're like,
luckily
Patricia,
Bev was there.
P, we heard you call punt. Yeah, that's code. That's code. That's rocket science talk.
Yeah, I rocket science him, and then the whole time he just slips Brayden to 50. Just
the idea that Patricia uses the term rocket science as a verb.
Yeah. They got a pick 6. You got rocket scienced.
Well, we're down a special teams coordinator. Fine, no big deal.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches, the Lions officially eliminated from playoff contention yesterday.
Mm-hmm. They are no longer a 1% chance, which finally get them out of there. Otherwise, 8-8 would have been fun. But
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It can't happen now. It's gonna be 7-9.
I don't think so. I mean, Brady hasn't looked great, but he's definitely good enough to beat us.
Our defense
so that takes us to probably
atrocious.
6-10, which is Patricia's best record.
Mm-hmm.
So we're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. The 49ers mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Let me ask you this. As we go through the rounds and interviewing all of these GM candidates, your Louis Riddicks, your Scott Pioli's, your what's his name?
Jim Harbaugh.
The guy from Rick Davis or something from Houston.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name. Yeah. Anyway, we interviewed. Is it time to call up the San Francisco 49ers and ask them for permission to interview Robert Saleh?
I mean, I guess it'd be wasting his time because Jim Harbaugh is right down the street. I don't.
Good. Oh my God. I can't. I don't know. This is your new 10-6.
Bring in Harbaugh.
Oh my God.
Who's got it better than us?
And then he hires Coombs. Immediately he hires Coombs. He goes, I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, I like your boldness. Put on these khakis.
Oh, Coach, these are a little baggy. Do you have anything tighter that can show off my Coombs?
my
Coomsones.
Yeah, we could bring it. Yeah, bring in Saleh. I say might as well if he's, or maybe wait. I don't know what they want to wait or something. But yeah, we could bring him in. He would be a good pick because, like I was saying as I was texting you during the game, we could almost avoid a rebuild, at least a full one. Looking at the offense,
we've got two Pro Bowlers on the offense.
Yeah,
Decker played at a Pro Bowl level this year.
Decker played at a level. I mean, Ragnow, he was out too. We were missing him. His throat, he couldn't sing.
A fractured throat.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows he sings while he blocks, so he couldn't be out there.
He told Stafford, he goes, I need you to call the line adjustments because I can't talk. He just wheezed that into Stafford's face while he's dealing with all this rib and thumb issue.
You're going to have to get in. I can't do it. They gave him one of these things. All right, everybody.
It's just on his shoulder pads. It's just right there.
Because normally he's
insane.
Yeah, he's usually out there like, I'm blocking, and he sings it. It's beautiful, and the whole line follows, and it's poetic. But he couldn't sing, so they're like, well,
and that has been one benefit to no fans this year. You can really hear Frank Ragnow. Mm-hmm. Just really belting it out, barbershop quartet style.
Beautiful voice on him.
Meanwhile, Marvin Jones is over there is like, I tried out for American Idol, and I have no business having tried out when that man sings like this. Can you imagine though playing center against an NFL defensive line and you have a fractured throat and they're just going,
oh yeah. His poor throat. Oh. And this is coming from a guy with a little throat. So I understand throat issues,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I mean, they played in his absence, it was
Dahl.
Who was it? Dahl, who wasn't too bad. I mean, Stafford, he got hit 2-3 times. That there's the one where they landed on him, but he was up. I think Stafford was up most of it.
Where does it say their defense? I'm usually better at this.
Oh, Stafford getting hits from watching the game. I don't think he was getting destroyed. He got hit a couple times.
There they are.
He had the
Five
ribs.
QB hits to Stafford, and he wasn't sacked though.
Yeah. Yeah, he fell. Yeah, I think somebody fell on his ribs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like a fragile man right then, so it didn't take much, but he really wasn't hit that much. Dahl played okay at center. Our O-line is fine.
It's okay.
I think our O-line is definitely middle of the pack, if not high end of the middle.
When you're looking at maybe the whole unit, that right side does need some work. I'm hoping Logan Sternberg really comes along and plays guard next year, because I want to see that Bill Lambier nasty streak that everybody's talking about on the one side of the line. But that said, I mean, Jonah Jackson, we've said it a million times on here. Jonah Jackson, Taylor Decker, who just got re-signed. Jonah Jackson signed his rookie contract, and Ragnow's now in his second year, so he's got at least 2 to 3 more years. Like, that left side that's a great offensive line.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a good offensive line. Our running backs are there. Swift was fun to watch.
Yeah, he always is.
Yeah, he's a good every down back.
And they figured out what to do with Adrian Peterson, his goal line situation. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's okay with me. The tight ends are fine. Our wide receivers, we could use some. If we tag Kenny. Marvin Jones is looking good yesterday.
He's on his contract, though. I don't know if he's going to come back. And so is Galladay. I'll tell you who's been interesting to me. I don't know if I would say impressive, but Quintez Cephas.
Cephas looks okay.
And he gets the separation, and like he goes. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to be like a stud. I think he's going to be someone that people in Detroit love, and fantasy players will be like, I'll pick him up on a flyer. He always seems to get like 10.
Yeah. Yeah, our offensive side of the ball is, to me, fine. Our defense is – if Stafford stays, our offense is fine.
So, I mean, really, realistically, I think Okwara is up. Harmon is up. Tracy Walker is up. We got Collins. Davis is up. We have Jelani Tavai, which Lottie freaking da.
Holy crap, is he slow.
That contract is running out faster than Jelani Tavai runs himself.
Jeez, I mean, the times of just seeing him like 5 feet behind a guy at the ball, just like
put him on special teams for the rest of his time here if you're going to keep him, but get him off the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, our whole defense is slow.
You know who also looked pretty decent yesterday? In the few things like I actually paid attention to him. And obviously this isn't over the entire game, but I liked the way that Austin Bryant was playing. It was like the first time I really saw him get some serious play.
Austin looked good.
I mean,
Pinacini's good.
Pinacini is playing really well, and we've got Nick Williams. I mean, what I hear, and this is gonna, it's crazy, okay? And I think it's unrealistic. But
okay,
I think we are currently at the number 10 pick in the draft.
Sure.
I think we lose.
We can get
I think we drop these next 2 games. Yeah. You know who the league leader in drops this year is?
Is it Ebron?
At tight end. It's Ebron. Do you know who number 2 is at tight end?
Who?
Hawkinson.
Is Hawkinson number 2?
Yeah, he's number 2 in drops. But he's still, I mean, he's one of the leading tight ends in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he's at least got the numbers behind it.
Yeah. So here's what I think. We're at 10. I think we lose these next 2 games because I do think that Minnesota is fighting for a playoff spot until the last week. So I think we've dropped these next 2 games.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't we? So we're going to move up, I think, realistically to a top, 5 to 7 is probably where we're going to end up. We trade Stafford because I don't know that there is a quarterback out there that hasn't won a championship. I don't know that there's a quarterback out there that their teammates respect more than Matthew Stafford. The way he goes out and plays, and just like he's got nothing around him. He's hurt all the time.
It's wild that he was playing.
Who doesn't want him on your team, right? So I think you trade, and we get another first-round pick. Okay. And then this is the wild card thing, because I'm in an NBA mentality here. Why let a player go for nothing when you could probably get something for him? You re-sign Kenny Galladay in a sign and trade, and you trade him for a late first, early second, because he's good enough to he's better than a 3rd rounder, which is where we got him. All of a sudden, we've got 3 to 4 picks in the top, let's call it 38. get your quarterback, bring in some sort of journeyman that can mold him for a year or two, or even half a season, make him work for his job, and then just draft defense and probably a receiver. We need a receiver, we need a quarterback, and we need a linebacker, and realistically, a corner or a safety, an edge. We need so much defense.
Yeah, we need all defense, which is why I'm saying we could do a half rebuild and just rebuild the defense. Keep Staffy. He's still under contract. You draft a quarterback and let him sit. And then even late in the later rounds, who knows? And then everything else defense. And then you get a defensive-minded guy like Salah, and then he just works on that side of the ball.
A leader of men.
A leader of men. We need a leader of men because our other guy was a slimy piece of trash of men and then his special teams guy brought in was also a piece of slime, a lot of slime. And then just do defense. I think it could work.
I agree with you 100%. And I mean, we've obviously talked about the romance of Robert Saleh returning to his home.
I do like romance.
So listen to whose contract is expiring in San Francisco from defense. You want to bring it? I mean, this is a guy. I don't know what's happening. Oh, hold on.
What?
I got a Best Buy ad coming in to my website here.
Oh, what's it for?
I don't know. It's one of those claymation people, and they're saying we got the Best Buys.
Like a TV?
Yeah. So we got this. Solomon Thomas. He is 25. His contract expires next year. He's a defensive end. He was like a top 5 pick. I think they picked him the year Chicago traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky. He's underperformed, but I mean, he's got all the tools. Why not bring him, especially if Saleh likes him? Richard Sherman is expiring. He already turned us down once because of the coaching situation, and we all know how he feels about Robert Saleh.
You think Sherman would come with him?
I do.
That would solidify our secondary.
It would help us in the secondary, and I
Sherman or Awarie and Okuda gets to kind of sit down, and then we got Coleman's
still there for at least another year.
Fine. Secondary be fine.
But I think, and this is maybe a little crazy, but I think there's a good chance that moving forward, especially over here, we're so thin at safety next year. If Sherman were to come, why not play him at safety? I mean, he's one of the smartest defensive backs in the league. Let him see the whole field.
Ooh, I would be interested.
Right?
Turn him into he was a Green Bay guy, I think, that turned into a safety.
Charles Woodson?
Yeah, like old Charles Woodson.
A little Heisman Trophy comparison.
You revived his career.
Mm-hmm. And then he opened a winery. I met his assistant one time when I was doing some shows in Napa.
Really?
Very nice girl, and apparently he's a great guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good.
Here's another couple contracts that are expiring for Robert Saleh's 49ers. Former Lion, and he's been a real force for them. Kerry Hyder at defensive end. He's been playing. He played well for us. I was upset when we got rid of him.
I remember Hyder.
Crushing it for 49ers this year. I think he's been great.
Hyder back.
Ziggy Ansah, his contract is expired. Why don't you? He's at that. He's over there. He's at that stage in his career with put him in on passing down situations. Give him a little Terrell Suggs mentality, a little Dwight Freeney at the end of their career. Let him spin all around and go get the quarterback.
Let him spin out there. Ziggy, get out there and spin.
That's Deion Jordan. He's a practice squad. Jason Verrett. I mean, geez, they have so many contracts expiring.
And he could bring a few of those guys over.
I agree.
And then the defense, our defense just needs to be like a top 20 defense. If our defense was top 20 this year, we would be in playoff talks, like legit playoff talks. If our defense had just made it to the top 20,
not just that 1% hope that we had.
Yeah, because our offense has put up numbers. Our offense puts up the yards, especially lately with Bevel letting Stafford do what he does. We've been putting up 400 yards a game.
Yeah.
Like, it was all there. It was just poorly coached. So I don't think we need to blow it all up. I mean, I know some people do. If we do, I won't be upset. I won't be like, what the heck? But I think we can get away with not blowing it all up.
A full rebuild, though, puts us out of contention for at least, on the optimistic side 2 years,
Mhm.
more likely 3. But if we just try and fix the defense with a defensive minded coach, and then someone who is creative enough to handle the offense and let it rip with what we have, I think we can be competitive next year.
I think so
Now,
too.
that's a classic Lions.
Sure, it's a very Lions-y thought, but we're not the same old Lions anymore. We're hemp Ford Lions. We're a new breed.
Yesterday we put up 430 yards. I want to find out what we did the games that we played against as Bevel was our coach.
Since Bevel took over, I think we've been putting up around 400 yards a game.
430 against the Titans. Against the Packers, we only put up 293, but we were competitive. He did not coach against the Texans, so I'm not going to go there. 293 against the Packers, 430 against the Titans, and then he put up. Where are you?
You look at Chicago.
Against Chicago, he put up 460.
See, the man knows
against the top 5 defense.
Yeah, the offense can do it. The defense is just slow garbage.
I want Stafford. I love Stafford. I will, as we talked about in texts yesterday, I will be a fan wherever he goes. But
if we trade him, I'll still follow him. But I think we can keep him and see. We might be able to pull this off. Who knows?
I don't know that he's going to.
The defense was terribly bad.
Awful. Atrocious.
I mean, Derrick Henry, he just kept – the amount of times the announcers were talking about him running downhill, you would have thought there was a slope in Tennessee.
Oh, I was waiting for you to bring it up. We got to watch it, don't we? We've got to watch it. This just nasty.
Yeah, you talk about that stiff arm where he threw the man to the ground?
You see it?
I saw it.
Here it is.
Yep, tossed him like a rag doll. Who was it, Orowarie?
No, some practice squad guy. I mean,
look at that.
That's just...
Get down. Yeah.
Oh, so hard.
Myers. Yeah, whoever Myers was.
Look at this.
Yep.
Boom!
Just like, how you doing? No. And then he just keeps running. Oh, man.
It's not fair.
Yeah. Our defense is slow and weak. They're not even big, strong guys. The amount of missed tackles, Jared Davis can't tackle. He kept hitting guys in the backfield and just like falling on them.
He had,
and then they would be like, "Ugh, get off me,
laid it down." But he's so bad. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it was Bob Quinn can draft an O-line, and that's about it.
Derrick Henry is 6'3", 238 pounds, and runs a 4.5. That is a super fast monster.
Yeah, he's a huge, huge.
You see how big he is out there running and how fast he hits the holes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What a home run pick by them.
Yeah, and we were holding on to him. We were keeping up with Tennessee for a good chunk of the game, and then.
Oh, I thought you meant we were holding on to Derrick Henry as he just ran with us, hanging on to him.
Oh yeah, there was a couple of times, but we were keeping up with Tennessee until the Tannehill when he ran it in for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Then we just collapsed.
Well, he ended up having 2 rushing, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was the first one. He ran it in, then our whole team just lost its entire spirit to keep playing.
I want to see what the it was something else. So what do we do, Jeff? What do we do moving forward? We are currently 5-9. If we win one more game, this team that started the year as Matt Patricia's team will end up having been it'll tie his best record. If they win out, this team will be the best coached Matt Patricia team out there, though.
And Darrell Bevel's putting together a resume right now, so he definitely wants to win, which is good.
Absolutely.
The players are playing for him to the best of their abilities. One side of the ball can't, but they're trying. And apparently the defensive coordinator, what's his name, Undelin?
Corey Undlin.
Unlin?
Yeah.
That's not even – Patricia's scheme wasn't even like what he does. That's not even really his scheme. So he's out there be like, Patricia has screwed the defense so terribly. It's wild. God. He's like the ghost of his failure is still lingering on that side of the ball. It's wild how much he put them into the hole.
He came in and he said, I'm going to make my time in Detroit look like my senior spring break. I am just going to screw them over so bad.
Yeah, I'm going to make it illegal how bad this is.
When people talk about what I did in the city of Detroit, they're going to have to preface it with the word allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly he coached. Going forward, I know they want to win. How do you stop Brady? You got to get to him. You got to get pressure, and you don't even need to really sack Brady. You just got to push him a lot. You push him around, and he can't. This is Brady. He's like, what? He's not good anymore, But if you can't push him a little bit, even if you try to sack him, he'll sidestep, and he does it he can sneak out of a sack attempt. The man can do that. But if you're just pushing him around, you can throw him off. So we need to push him around. Is Stafford going to play? Is he too banged up? I think
if he can play, he's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play. He definitely is going to go out there I'm going to do it, which is wild. But he looked fine, to be honest. You couldn't. If you didn't know any better, you wouldn't be like, oh, this man's cartilage and his ribs are separated. You wouldn't really – he was throwing the ball very well.
Yeah, he just looks like he's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looks like he's in a lot of pain, but he looks like he's enjoying football again.
He looks like he's having a good time. A lot of pain. Terrible pain he's going through. But he looks fun having that pain.
But he likes it. Well,
yeah, we got Tampa Bay next. I think we have a better chance of beating Tampa Bay than we do.
Really? Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah.
That blows my mind that you would say that. Why do you think that?
I just feel like Minnesota, it's a divisional game, and those games are always harder. We know they know the players, they know the coach, they know how everything works. Tampa Bay, we beat Brady before with Patricia. Maybe some of that is left over, lingering. I don't know. And Brady doesn't seem to be as great as he was. He's still doing pretty well, but I don't know. I think out of the two teams we're playing coming up next, I think Tampa Bay. If we're going to win one, I think it's going to be against Tampa Bay.
That's interesting because I think we're going to lose both. But
yeah, we probably will lose both. I'm saying if we're going to win one.
Minnesota is currently 6-8. They have to win out to be 500 and have any kind of a shot at the postseason. This week they're playing New Orleans, though. And I can't imagine they're going to want to end their season having lost, especially to a division opponent. Because if we do win out, I mean, if they lose this week and we lose this week, we could be playing to stay out of the basement of the NFC North.
That would be
nice.
That'd
be a competitive game.
Yeah. Yeah, the Minnesota game is probably going to be very, very good, tough game. Tampa Bay, if we shove Brady around and we can keep up with them, which I don't think Tampa Bay has been putting up wild numbers.
I don't know what their numbers are, but I will tell you that their record is...
They got a good record. They remind me
9-5
of Peyton Manning's Broncos.
95. They're putting up 28.6 per game. They're allowing 23. They're putting up 371 yards, 278 passing. They're doing about 94 rushing, and they're giving up about 278 yards in the pass and only 78 on the rush. We're better against the pass than them. Much worse against the rush. We're about as good rushing. We're better passing. Our offense, we're putting up 3 more yards than they are a game.
Yeah, I think our offense can keep up with their offense. And I think our defense, I don't know how good our defense is better against the pass than is the run. And Tampa Bay is, I think, more of a passing team.
All right, well, it's time to make that pick, my friend. Tampa Bay.
You know what?
Against the Detroit Lions, the spread is they have Tampa Bay down 9.5. We are a 9.5-point underdog, and the over/under is 54. What do you think?
Give me the dang upset. I think we're beating Tampa Bay, baby.
Woo!
I think we're doing. I think the team saw Brayden get fired, and they're like, "Holy smokes, coach ain't messing around. Everybody, get your crap together."
The only thing hotter than Brayden Coombs' manscaped feet the only thing hotter than Brayden Coombs' manscaped face is the fire Bev just lit under my ass by getting rid of him.
I'm smelling a victory here. The team plays well after a firing. I've noticed that this year. You fire a coach, our team plays well.
Bev has got these boys revved up.
We should fire a coach after every game, I tell you.
Yeah, we're the only staff with an extra 16 coaches on the staff. It's just one by one.
After every game.
So many coaches sacrifice.
Yeah, their coach sacrifices. After every single one, they're like, the defensive coordinator's gone. And then who's up? Linebackers coach. You're now. Okay. And then they go, offensive guy, you're out. Fire a coach after every game, gosh darn it. And
sure,
it's going to light a fire under
to get fired, but you are well compensated.
Mm-hmm. I'm smelling a win here. I don't know why. Call me wild.
I think you're wild. How
much do you think we're going to lose by? I know you're thinking loss. By how much?
I would say probably 10 to 12 we lose by. I don't think it's going to be crazy close. We're 1-5 at home. Tom Brady always destroys us. Here's my thing. They have so many receivers. They have Mike Evans, they have Chris Godwin, they have Antonio Brown, they have Scotty Miller, who has been very good for them. Plus, they have Rob Gronkowski and Cameron Brate, not to mention Ronald Jones, who might not play due to COVID. But then they have Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy along with another running back. I can't even think of who it is. But our defense is too bad to stop all that. It's just too bad. It's not good enough. We lose by at least 12. Lose by at least 12.
All right. I think we're going to win by 6 points.
Ooh, 6 points.
Mm-hmm. I'm smelling a 6-point win.
Well,
don't know how we're going to get to 6. Could be 2 field goals. Could be a touch. It could be a tutter with a missed point after. Happens a lot this year. We'll see.
Matt Prater is going to strike. Brayden Coombs is his man.
Yeah. Matt Prater's going to miss all of his field goals. I just need Brayden. I can't.
Brayden Coombs is Matt Prater's illegitimate son, and that's how he got the job. And there was some serious nepotism involved. And Matt Prater is going to take fatherly instincts. He's going to Papa Bear him and be like, "I will not play until my son is rectified."
Where's my son? I can't special teams without my Brayden.
Every time Matt Prater missed a field goal, he'd go over and look to his son, and Brayden Coombs would just be like, "Oh, you're not even my dad."
We do have 3 generations of white guy names in our team. We got a Daryl, a Brayden, and a bunch of Matts.
Don't forget about Corey. All right, buddy. Well, I hope you have the merriest of Christmas. Are you hoping for anything specific?
What's up?
Are you hoping for anything specific?
No, I'm just hoping for a nice Christmas miracle.
Anything specific or just?
No, just a random miracle. I hope somebody gains vision.
I just want to turn on my faucet, and where water once was, wine pours out.
Yeah, I want a painting to cry blood. I just want to see some kind of miracle.
Well, I want that very badly for you as well. Well, Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you after this. Let's see if we can get another SCORE-IGAMI, huh?
Let's at least get a SCORE-IGAMI.
Let's get a 2-0. Let's have a 2-0 game.
Hell yeah.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.